A deadline to charge the suspect in the murder of a University of Utah student has come and gone now. Mackenzie Lueck's body was found last Friday in a canyon nearly 85 miles from the home of that suspect, Ayoola Ajayi. He's being held on suspicion of aggravated murder and kidnapping. With evidence stacking up against him, the question is, why has he not been charged? I'm joined now by David Bruno. He's a criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor and trial attorney. Hopefully you can take us through this. Why has there not been a charge yet?
All speculation at this point. The defendant was in court last Monday, and they had 7 days. The prosecutors had 7 days to charge, and yesterday was the deadline. But no one's stepping up. No one's giving this information. And if I were representing him, I would be kicking and screaming in the press. I'd be in court. I'd be filing motions, and none of that's happening. Right? So maybe, just maybe, the defense attorney and the defendant are agreeing to this delay because he's in jail. It's not that it's just there haven't been charges yet. He's been in jail, arrested since the 28th, and it's unusual.
Is there a deadline
really
based on law in that state where they have to make a decision on this or release him?
It's federal case law, and it talks about it's the Fourth Amendment against unreasonable searches and seizures, and there's no fine line. I mean, generally speaking, there are some states that say that you have to have criminal charges within 48 hours to 72, but it's not. We're way past whatever would be in statutes.
So what's next in this case?
What's next? Someone's got to get in front of a judge and say, what is going on here? It's been way too long without charges. And it's odd, too, because look at all the reporting last week. Very odd behavior on behalf of this defendant. You know, he wanted to put a soundproof room in his house. Apparently, neighbors saw him burning things in his yard. I mean, they say they have DNA tissue. They say they have text messages. It's a probable cause standard to charge. So why in the world hasn't it happened? I have just as many questions as you guys.
She flew into Salt Lake, either texted or called her parents at 1 a.m. and she got into a car, took a ride into town, and that was the last they heard from her.
Yeah, she was at a funeral for her grandmother's the night before. She comes in and she takes a Lyft to a park at 3 a.m. Now, the Lyft driver says that she was meeting somebody there. She was not in distress. So
but
one would
the Lyft
think
driver is not this man that we've been talking about.
The Lyft driver is not that person. The Lyft driver dropped her off to a car, and she may have been planning this meeting.
All right, David, thank you.
Thank you, David. We need to solve that case.
Absolutely.
Utah. David Bruno, thanks.